Hello and welcome to my next little journal diary thing. It's been a long time since my last one. It's been months. College. Stuff's been happening. I just kind of forgot about this, but I've been feeling the need to do it again. So just catching up from stuff from last time. The girl that I was talking about, my friend, who I dropped. She went a little cuckoo crazy. She stalked me in one of my classes. She like waited outside one of my classes like a couple weeks ago, and like just started like following me home and crying and doing all that. She got her own dad to call me to be friends with her again. Um, she called my mom because like I said, this girl's been a family friend for like my for most of my life. So she has my mom's contact. We know each other very. Our families know each other very well. So she had my mom. She told the whole situation to my mom. I don't know, and so like she brought it to. She made it even worse for herself to make me like want to even talk to her even less. And also, there's this very attractive woman that I was going to get with, and she actually reached out to me about it. But then the my friend, my ex friend, told her, "Hey, don't do it." So she messed that up for me too, for no reason. That's sure going to help you get friends with me again. I don't know, it pissed me off. Um, I forgot if I mentioned I was rushing fraternity, which is very out of character for me. I forgot if I mentioned that in my last one. I might have, but I'm past initiation now. I got elected as the chapter's social chair and historian as a new member, which is pretty good. That's pretty abnormal, so I'm on a good track there. Like I said, very out of character to join a fraternity. I'm a very quiet person, very dorky person in terms of shit I like. I mean, I have a fucking Doom tattoo and a Berserk tattoo. Like, I'm not exactly a frat type. Um, I have a fucking Chris Chan medallion back there. Like, I'm not. But these guys are like a really chill group of guys, and a lot of them kind of get me in a way. Um, yeah, so I mean, I like it. I like it there a lot. I still hate fraternities and most frat guys, but like this is a different kind of fraternity, so like it's different. I like it there. I like it a lot. Um, So, I'm trying to decide. I'm thinking between two topics to talk about because I'm going to slim between two videos. I'll talk about the first. I'll talk about this one. The what happened last night. I got blackout drunk. Not yeah, no, I was blackout drunk and watched 500 Days of Summer, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. It has been for a while. I first watched it with one of my ex girlfriends back in high school because she wanted to like break up with me and like Summer did, so she was kind of like trying to hint at it with that movie, but I didn't get the hint. So that. But I love the movie, and it's in my top 20 movies of all time. I love that movie. So but I watch it. I rewatch every once in a while, and I rewatched it last night while getting blackout drunk because I was just in a very bad mood and very depressing mood. And I'm starting to think I'm becoming an alcoholic, but because I just started downing shots of vodka for as a coping mechanism. So um uh I was like 20 shots deep last night, just sitting on my couch watching 500 Days of Summer. So the reason that got me in the mood for that, there's this lovely girl that I met at my fraternity at a party that we held. She was with a group of friends, very average fraternity party goers, very crazy girls, loud, crazy. Um, One of them gave a dude a blowjob in the bathroom that night, so that tells you all you need to know. I was working bar. I enjoy working bar. I just offer to do it. I like working the bar. It's fun seeing all the people come in and all that. I get to talk to a lot of people. It's like my only because I'm not really good at communicating with people and like coming up with conversations. So like being at the bar, it's like I have to talk to people and they come and talk to me. So I like that a lot. But so yeah, these girls came to the party, and they had this one other and one of the girls in the front group was more quiet and like reserved, and she didn't like seem like the rest of them. So these girls, were crazy. They keep coming to the bar. They talk to me a lot. I had a lot of conversations with them, and I started like kind of talking with the more quiet girl, and I asked her if she wanted to come back to my dorm. I guess, which, I mean, to be fair, if you're a girl and someone tells you to come back with them from a frat party, don't do it. That's a terrible idea. Like this girl just got lucky that it was me and not another like frat rapey guy, but. Not guys in my frat aren't like that, but you never know who can come inside the party. Um, But yeah, but you know, she came because I mentioned that I play bass and guitar, so she was like, "Oh, I want to hear you play." So like, okay, come back to my place. And yeah, we ended up going back to my dorm, and we didn't kiss, we didn't nothing sexual. It was complete just talking, and it was amazing. I mean, I really like this girl, and she's beautiful, she's stunning, way out of my league, and she doesn't live too far from my home, like back home from college, so like we can see each other outside of that. And so it turns out I actually met her before at a Halloween party my frat hosted, but I never like talked to her. But I remember seeing her there, and she remembered me, so that was cool. Um, I thought she was very attractive back then too. I did kind of want to talk to her back then. I just didn't at the Halloween party, but yeah. So after that we kept talking, shooting the shit on Instagram, and I invited her to go to Dave's Hot Chicken with me and then watch some movies afterwards. And it ended up on my birthday. Oh, by the way, it was my birthday like a couple weeks ago. I'm 19 now. Woohoo! But yeah, that just happened to be on my birthday. So we went to Dave's Hot Chicken. Great. I love Dave's Hot Chicken. Then we went back and we watched a couple horror movies because she's really into horror. Again, nothing happened between it. Like, we kind of like cuddled on the couch when we watched the movies, but like other than that, nothing like at all. Not even a kiss. Not nothing. So but it was still just a great time. Like she's just an amazing person, a nice, kind, funny person. Great taste in music, great taste in movies. It's just I just like I actually the second time like really being with this girl, I fell in love, and it's embarrassing. It really is because I barely know her, but yeah. And then so it's time. Some time passed by. We kept talking on Instagram. We couldn't really meet up at all since after that because she's a very studious person. She studies a lot, very up top in her grades, and so she lots of pulling it all nighters because it's finals. Like we're approaching well, it is finals week now, but like last week is when it's kind of where I'm talking about at this point. Last week, a lot of classes were doing a lot of exams, so it's she couldn't really hang out. But then on Saturday, so this Saturday, a couple days ago, my fraternity had a 10th anniversary event because it was the 10th anniversary of our chapter. So I invited her to go with me, and it was a very expensive. It's like $70 a ticket. So I paid $70 for her to go with me, and I bought her flowers and shit. And then like a day before it was time for us to go, like she said she would go with me, and then like a day before she was like, "Hey, I think we should just be friends. I just broke up with my ex not too like long ago before this, and it's just too recent and too fresh, and I think it's better if we're just friends." And then that my heart sunk so hard from that. I was listening to Adam's song Blink-182. I was listening to Dude Ranch back to front over and over again. Some Descendants, some Clean Sheets. If you're a punk guy, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, that was terrible to hear. But she said she would still go to the dance with me just because she still likes me as a friend. So she went with me, and she dressed up in this beautiful dress. I was in a great suit. We had got a couple pictures together. If I was a douchebag, I would show you, but I'm not. I try to have empathy and care about people's privacy, so I won't show you. But we look great together. We legit look like we could be a married couple. Like we fit each other so much, and we kept talking that night, and it was just we got like really deep in conversations and personal shit like that I haven't really told anybody with her, to be honest. And she told me some personal shit too. And and she said, she brought up more context about the ex thing. Like she said, like her ex like started stalking me after we found out we were talking, and she just wants to stay out of drama. So she wants to be just friends, so she can stay out of drama, and doesn't want a lot of people because her ex lives on the same dorm floor as her, so they all know the same people, and she just wants to avoid drama and avoid rumors. So I was like, okay, I get it, but like, it's one thing if she said like just friends for now, but she didn't say just friends for now. She said like because of all this, like we should just be friends. I can't be in a relationship this soon after my last one. We should just be friends, and that's all I can give you. She didn't. So I mean, I don't know. She just it implies that it's only for now and that she like a relationship's possible later just because she said because it's recent from her last breakup. But she also didn't say like just friends for now. She just said like we can just be friends, meaning that like it's forever. So it means she just doesn't like it. I mean, Because if it was only because like she just broke up with her boyfriend, she would have said like, you know, maybe sometime in the future. But no, she just said, you know. So I mean, I've gotten a lot of female attention in college. I'm not trying to hype myself up, but just because I go to a party school and girls here are throwing themselves away and have no self respect. I don't get with girls. I haven't been hooking up with girls because that's just not who I am. But you know, I if I find a girl, I date to marry, and obviously that hasn't been the best because all my exes I ended up, you know, none of them worked out. But you know, that's always my plan. But this girl is so much different than all the other girls I've ever talked to or gotten with her. Like spent like my long term relationships that lasted like so long. Like I felt a connection with her I haven't felt before. She's just so beautiful and like I don't know. I can't just be friends with this girl. I mean, she said like, "Hey, we can hang out over break." Actually, I brought it up. She didn't bring up hanging out ever, but she said, "Yeah, she's down and watch a movie. We can watch some more movies together just as friends." But it's like I don't know. And then it just hurts. It does. So last night I just kept thinking about it and looking at our pictures together from that 10th anniversary event and I just so I was like, okay, you know what? This reminds me of the movie 500 Days of Summer because Summer's all like, I just want to be friends, even though she's, you know, fucking the guy in the shower, but she just wants to be friends, and you know, and it just reminded me a lot of that, and so I started watching that, and I was just like, was like, I can't, I don't want to be sad right now, so I started just downing shots. It made me even more sad, to be honest. It wasn't really a great coping mechanism. I'll probably do it again though, because at least I felt something and didn't just feel like empty loneliness and sadness from this girl that I shouldn't have fallen in love with so quickly, but I did. But I don't know. It's depressing. I don't want to be an alcoholic. My alcoholism runs in my family on both my mom and my dad's side. Like it's like it is an issue. It is a problem. I shouldn't be, you know, I am at huge risk of doing it since it runs in the family, but of falling into that like hole of alcohol and coping with it. But I don't know. It's hard not to. This girl, man. I'm just smiling thinking about her, but like I it shouldn't be because she doesn't like me like that. I gotta stop like bringing my hopes up for. Sorry, I actually stopped the recording, but yeah, I gotta stop bringing my hopes up for this shit because like she doesn't like me like that, and she says I'm a really cool person, and you know, she does like me, but like she can't because the breakup. But like the way she's saying it makes it seem like yeah, like there's no chance of us ever being together. So it's not just the breakup. She just doesn't like want to be like she doesn't like me and romantically. Which you know, it's fine. That's her choice. She doesn't have to, but I can still be sad about it. I have the choice to be sad about it. So, and use vodka as a coping mechanism. And I tried a Modelo last night too. I had a Modelo sitting in my fridge, my mini fridge here in my dorm for a special occasion because that's that fancy shit. You know, I don't have much money, so like I can't really afford. I'm usually a Corona drinker, but I got a fancy Modelo that I stole from my frat. So I was like, okay, you know, I'm gonna pop this tonight while I'm sad. You know, hopefully make it. And it was a good ass, probably the best beer I've had. But you know, it was just a terrible vibe. Still, it was a terrible vibe. Um. So you know, let's switch it up a little bit. Today I had my first final. I have four classes currently. Two of them don't have finals, and I don't have to show up at all for finals week, so those are just done. Those classes are just done, and then so then I have my other two classes. I have math today, which I got a solid 60%. I would say that'd be my guess. I just took that a couple hours ago. 10 a.m. 30-minute walk in the fucking 11-degree weather, Michigan weather. That's great, but still, you know, it's whatever. I think I still got a solid 60, which I should do a lot better because that class is easy as shit. It's an easy math class, but it's as long as I can pass, I don't give a shit. I'm going to school to be a fucking teacher. Like that's my major, social studies education. So I'm not like looking to make big grade money and get good grades and become a nuclear physicist. So it's whatever. As long as I pass the class, 1.0 is what you need to pass the class. So as long as I get that, and then I have a psych exam, which I'm definitely going to fail because my original major was psych, and I switched out just because that fucking psych class just I fucking can't take it. It's so terrible. I'm gonna fucking bomb that test. I might not even pass, but I'm going to try. I'm still going to try. I'm not going to study because I really don't feel like studying for that shit, but I'm still going to try. Yeah, but the reason I switched my major is not only because of that. It's because I did always want to either do something with kids or with animals, but the problem is, like, you can be a you can be a veterinarian or like a orthopedic doctor, like for pediatric doctor, but like I'm not going to school for that long to be either of those, and I'm not dealing with that chemistry shit. I can't do chemistry. That's the only class in high school I failed. Actually, my teacher boosted my grade like on the last couple days of class, so I wouldn't fail, and like I actually passed the class just because he liked me a lot, and like me and him were super cool. So shout out to you, Mister. I don't know. I'm not going to dox you, but still, I can't do chemistry shit. So it's like, all right, those both of those options are out. Every other option with animals or kids makes zero fucking money, no chance. So it's like I was like, all right, I'll go psych and maybe do psychiatry, maybe adolescent psychiatry, so I can work with kids, but I was like, I can't do this. You know what? I should stop worrying about money. I realized like I spend all day on my fucking computer playing video games. What do I need money for? What do I need to be rich for? Like as long as I can afford to have a place to live and lighting and water and car to drive and groceries and food, as long as I can afford all that and to keep my lights on, I spend all day alone playing video games mostly, and I'll go to like my fraternity like once a week. It's honestly kind of a waste of money. As much as I love it there, it's kind of a waste of money because I'm too like antisocial to be there all the time. I go there like once a week, twice a week maybe. I do love the guys. It's just I'm such an I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like I know I'll have more fun. Like I'll be bored doing this shit in my room doing nothing, but like I'll still choose it over actually doing something I know I'll have fun with. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. But, I spend all day in my room playing video games and bass and whatever the fuck. So like it's fine. I don't need to be rich to live. I can be a teacher and work with kids and every teacher I've talked to said don't do it. It's a fucking terrible job, but I don't care. I'll be fine. Um yeah, so getting to work with kids cuz I don't know. I kids is something I've always wanted to work with cuz childhood wise, on a technical scale, I did have a good childhood. I had parents that loved me and cared for me. I was a single child for most of my life, so I was very fucking spoiled until like the later years, and I still kind of am to be honest. But mentally, like I had a really terrible childhood, and that's nothing for my parents' fault or my environment. That's just I don't know. Maybe I was born that way. Um, Maybe it was just being isolated because even when I was younger, I spent most of my time alone on my fucking iPad watching YouTube and being exposed to shit I shouldn't be exposed to, which So maybe I guess it does root back to childhood and just being. And I've always just kind of been a loner. I've had friends, I hang out with friends, but like majority of my time is spent alone doing my own shit. Even in my dorm, like with my roommate here, who's here all the time. He's not here right now. I'm not recording this shit with him in here. Don't worry. But even him, like I put on my headphones and like don't speak to him just because I don't know. I just prefer doing my own thing. I don't. I'd rather have a girl here with me and have that comfort and warmth and have a girl and be able to hold somebody. But I don't know. I spend most of my time alone. I don't feel like looking for that shit. It's too much fucking effort and finding a girl who has a little bit of self-respect and hasn't been hoeing herself around once college started is very difficult. This is the first girl I found that's I feel like I actually have like is a decent person, but she just wants to be friends. So I don't know. 500 Days of Summer is a great movie. I recommend you watch it, but only if you're in a happy relationship and you won't relate to it a lot. Great fucking movie. I'm gonna end it here. I'll see you guys later.